from Twitter's viewpoint or standpoint was when Threads was launched. Meta decided to roll out a competitive platform that Twitter did not take very well. They said, we're going to go after them. They have replicated our model, and Threads boomed. We tracked that story here
100 million downloads in the first few days.
And now we are given to understand that it's not the same anymore. They've lost 75% of the traffic just within 15 days. So the steam is off.
It seems like, Shweta.
And people are not buying Threads anymore.
That's right. I think, what's really happening is that Twitter was habitual. Twitter was something that people who were on Twitter would swear by. And even those who were faced with that restriction on how many threads or how many tweets you can read, which is incidentally when Threads was launched, and that was unlimited viewing, right? It picked up because it came from Meta, and it was a clear case of Mark Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk, and people wanted to try something new. People wanted to lay their hands on a natural extension, a slightly more serious extension of Instagram, where you could import your followers and you could engage with them in a very different platform called Meta Threads. And that resulted in about 100 million downloads in the first few days of launch, breaking the record of ChatGPT, which had 10 million installs in the first week, if I'm not mistaken, right? So about 100 million installs, but over the course of the next few weeks, the Thread story has been snapped off a little. So what I understand is that there's a straight 20% reduction in active users. There's a 50% reduction in time spent. And time spent is an important matrix for social media, because how much time are you spending on the platform will suggest how many ads can be thrown your way. How many suggestions can be thrown your way, which help these platforms make money. You just launch the app and scrub through it for a minute and you log off, you're not engaged enough. So 50% reduction in engagement suggested that on an average, when people were spending 10 minutes, which was the number on Threads, they are now spending only 5 minutes.
That is
so
correct.
That's a 50% reduction. And the impact on what was called the Twitter killer, Threads, the Threads impact on Twitter hasn't been that significant. So while there were 100 million installs and while there was 10 minutes of time spent on Threads, Twitter got to lose just about 5% of its total traction. So a 5% versus a 50% reduction, Twitter still seems to be winning by a large margin.
Our colleague Krishna Kumar is with us on this story. Krishna, good morning. We continue to track Threads story and the fact that Threads, although kicked off massively, 100 million downloads, everybody was talking about it. Suddenly it appears that people are back to Twitter.
Right, and for good reason too, because you have a platform in which you're comfortable with, you've done it so many times, and then have the comfort factor, familiarity factor with Twitter, so it's easy to get back to Twitter. So getting back to Twitter is not a big deal. But what is really disappointing is that the competitor to Twitter, because of all the disillusionment with Twitter, everybody is hoping that there is a competitor to Twitter that can be an alternative platform. Not just Threads, even when Koo came out, India's very own Twitter Koo platform came out. There's a lot of hope that Twitter is so biased in one way, maybe there can be an alternative to it. And neither Koo nor Threads seem to be doing very well, and that's a statement of Twitter, if you ask me. The Indian Twitter is not doing well. Facebook's Twitter is not doing well, and so people are going back to the actual Twitter, which might not be called Twitter anymore, but X.com. So irony of ironies is what is playing out, Shweta.
Absolutely, and it appears that Twitter's hegemony stands unquestioned, undivided. Nobody is able to challenge Twitter so far.
Not even Mastodon or Blue Sky, which was run by or is run by Jack Dorsey, the original founder of Twitter. He's got no takers. Imagine what he built with Twitter.
You only create magic once.
You only create magic once, but I think Elon Musk is trying to recreate that magic over and over again with pretty much anything that he touches.
Absolutely.